Now there's a very specific way that sectional ladders fit together. You have to put them together in the right order, otherwise you're going to face some problems. So a good method to do this is to start with the base closest to your body. And then the next pieces that you want are going to be your middle sections. So usually we recommend going no higher than 4 pieces. So that might be 2 middle sections then. In this case, we've just got 1. And then the farthest away section should be the top piece. And you'll see why as we start to put this together. Now, the next move you want to do is sort of rest all of the sections against your body here. Have a nice stable position to stand. And we're just going to take the top piece and we're just going to start lifting it up. We're going to get it up into position and line it up so that the bottom saddles land on this shaft and the top saddles, actually the lowest rung on the top piece, nests down inside those top saddles. Just like that. Pull it down to make sure that it's nicely seated, and you'll see that we have 2 interfaces here. We've got the lower saddle completely locked onto this shaft, and then we've got the upper saddle here completely locked onto this rung. So that's one piece put together. Now we're not done yet. We still have to connect this up to the base. So this part can get a little tricky, but with practice you'll get it down. It's more about balance than it is about strength. We just want to start, again, elevating these sections, get them lined up, and this does take some practice, and just slot them together just like that. So now we've got a 3-section ladder. You can see that's going to reach probably 16 to 18 feet. They're all properly nested together, and this is nice and stable and straight. Now there's one more thing that we need to do before this ladder is safe to work on. You'll notice that the saddles on each of these sections has openings. Now these are designed for a locking pin, and this is really important. You don't want to climb this ladder without placing a locking pin in the saddle like that. And what that does is it prevents these 2 sections from slipping apart. Now, in most cases, your weight and just gravity in general is going to keep these things together. So it's not a big concern that they're going to separate, but this is an extra line of safety because what can happen is you can get the top of your ladder maybe hooked on a lip of the roof or on a drip edge or something like that so that it's grabbing. And then your base could be in some soft ground, and when you put weight on it, the base will start to sink, the top section will stay put because it's hooked on something, and the sections can separate. And then everything collapses, you along with it. These pins prevent that from happening. So it's unlikely that these will separate, very unlikely, but when we add these pins in, with every section all the way to the top, it guarantees that this ladder can't separate while you're on it. So this is mandatory, must be done every time we put these together. So now that we've learned how to use our sectional ladders effectively and how to assemble them and work from them, let's look at how to take them apart safely. First thing we want to do, of course, is remove our safety pins. That'll enable you to take these apart. And we really want to just reverse what we did when we were assembling these. We want to get the weight back towards our body so that our core can take some of the weight here. And then it's as simple as using your hands and your thumbs if they're a little sticky, or sometimes they just slide right off. And you can just sort of leverage that up. Allow the base piece to just sort of fall against your core so that you don't have to worry about managing that. And you just slowly bring the upper sections down. Repeat the process to remove the top section. And just like that, we've disassembled our sectional ladders, and they're now ready for transport and set up in a new location. Now let's talk about an easy way to transport sectional ladders. When you've got them broken down and you're ready to put them back in the truck, or you need to move to a different position in your workspace and you need them broken down, when we have them stacked like this, it's really easy to just loop our arm through, get down a little bit low so you can use your legs to lift, grab a rung that is at a position that's comfortable for you, stand up, and now your shoulder and your core are taking most of the weight here. You've got control with your hand here, and you have a nice low profile collection of sectional ladders, and now you can move wherever you need to. Now it is important, notice you've got some length and some volume back behind you, so be careful as you're turning corners, going through doorways. You don't want any of this above your head or behind you to bump into any finished surfaces. So as always when moving ladders, just be aware of your surroundings and be aware of the clearance that you need to get to where you want to go safely.